Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Dimitri back again. In this video, we're gonna check out beginner's guide to real estate. So I got my notes and we're gonna discuss a couple of things, how to start in real estate. I'm sure you already heard somewhere or somewhat before what's going on in the real estate, how to get started. And we also obviously done quite a few videos about the real estate and how to get into real estate, a lot of things and practical steps, practical things to get financing, all those things. So now I thought about it, and you know what, I thought, hey, it would be nice to kind of like wrap it in one good package, like, hey, the beginner's guide a little bit, to the galaxy of real estate investing, right? I kind of like that sideway with guide to the galaxy. If you didn't watch that video or didn't watch that movie or reference, check it out. It's pretty cool, but it's more geeky kind of thing. So, well, I liked it anyway. So like and subscribe down below, because it really helps out the channel. So you help a lot. It's get noticed, it's get out there, YouTube algorithm, all that good joint. So it works, and thank you guys again. So to get started, we're gonna get started right now. So, and we're gonna begin with basics, right? So it's obviously have a good basic strategy, basic setup, good foundation in the real estate strategy, real estate investing. It's a key, it's a imperative, right? So there are multiple things, and it's gonna be huge, but we're gonna compact it together in this. Try to be a short video. So, and there you go. So one of the basics is to begin with deeper types of properties, obviously, right? So what is real estate investments basically, right? So is that you get the money, you invest in real estate, you get the money out of either renting it out, either leasing it, or, well, you basically lease it, you rent it out, or you can also do flips, basically buy low, renovate, sell high, so to speak, right? One of the big ones. Another way, like short-term rentals, 1 day, 2 days, whatever, a week, maybe a month, and commercial, all that. So commercial wise can be of various types, like even come to, just pop into my mind is renting out the farmhouse or something like that, or renting out a spot for church, things like that. It's still going to be considered as you work and you give the value to the community, and people and other businesses can partake it from commercial side of things, right? So, well, that's basically where you take the money and you invest and you get the profit back. So this real estate investing, that's pretty much it. There's another way that you can do technically without hard assets, so not without the hard property, such as rates. Rates is more like investing, so you get into a team of people or get to a company, not sponsor anything, so such as fundraise can be where you get into a company and you invest with them, and then they give you profit sharing from also what they do with the investment part, and then they just give it to you back. Basically, it's kind of like consolidation of the multiple people. They come together, a bunch of people just work as a kind of community type of thing and invest, and then they get the percentage back, right, from the investment. So another rates as well, technically it's more like a stock, more or less, but you can also do invest in the companies who does real estate. So they do the same exactly thing, but most of it, they kind of juggle everything depending on the company, depending on everything what they do, development or not development and things other, multiple industries. But you invest in real estate, well, you invest with them, but they invest in real estate, so it's kind of like getting there. But anyway, so multiple types. This is more further from the one that we're going to talk about here. So there you go. The one key is different types, right? Different types of real estate, different types of housing. Usually I like to divide. Well, it's kind of like every day and everywhere they divide it by basically in the commercial and residential. The residential is where people usually live. It's either like short-term, long-term, flips, whatever. Can be residential, basically, where sort of for personal living, right? And for the commercial, obviously all the way through, from like businesses, anything commercial wise, you can rent it, kitchen, farmhouses, whatever you just name it, right? So, and even to the point where you can rent out sort of like a community, like kind of like a villagey kind of thing. So set up like kind of Airbnbs type of, you know, outing kind of like thing. So anyway, that's more like commercial, and there's residential. How do you divide into, like, within the residential? There's going to be obviously subgroups there, such as like you know, the specific types of residential properties, such as condos, townhouses, multi-houses, and single houses, depending on the market, obviously. So apartments, condos, and you know, things like that. So it's a lot of different types, right? Obviously different neighborhood, different locations, and there's another topic we're going to discuss later a little bit. But other than that, it's pretty much what it is, right? So it's basically encompasses different types of properties. So we already discussed a couple of them, like residential. In residential side, it's townhouses, single houses, all the separate housing, townhouses, multiple housing, and things like that. So there are a bunch of them there. Commercial houses, also different types, different areas, from all the offices to all the way through the parking lots. Yeah, you'll be surprised how much can parking lots and all those things can do for you. You know how much revenue they can bring. So that's pretty good too. So, but you're renting out. So in the investment side of things, you're basically renting them out. Well, different types of business can open doors for you to explore and maybe invest in that business type, such as like if you go with commercial and then you say, hey, I bought this parking space and I want to rent it out to a different company, like, you know, there are a couple of companies, parking companies like PMI, maybe, like, that comes to mind. Nothing sponsored in this video or anything like that, but something like PMI or some other parking company that can come in and say, hey, you know what, hey, let's come to a deal, and then we rented out space from you, and then basically, yeah, you know, you can come up with the person you need. So that's a commercial more side. The residential is usually where agreement come together. You buy a property, like either like cash or under mortgage. Most of the time it's really nice to use a mortgage because you do use leverage and things like that, but you rent it out and you basically good, you're making money, desirably, you know, not like, you know, basically it depends on the markets are just break even, you know. It's kind of that, like we live in this type of world where different markets can dictate different things, you know. So in any case, there's different types of properties, right? So that's another point. So another one, a key would be financial options, financing options, and that's more comes to more like mortgages and financing. There are different types, and I'm not a mortgage broker or anything like that, so I just just random dude on the YouTube discussing real estate with you, and I'm a real estate investor myself. There's no license needed for that. There's nothing needed for that, like in terms of you just need the money basically and willingness to invest actually. So that's pretty much what it is. So in financing world option, beautiful variety of different financing options depending on your situation. Like it's like really catered to you, that you can partake advantage of, depending on what kind of things you have in place or worked at. So let's say in the United States specifically, they have multiple options, such as like VA loans, conventional loans, regular, like there's, oh my god, there's like so many there's so many loans. What I usually go like with a few specific ones, but it depends on options that you can partake. I already discussed multiple times about how I took it, how I partake it, what I partake of, things like that. So in one of my stories, I used conventional loan, like traditional, basically, like 30-year 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And I come to a table and say, hey, I put an offer in, and they were like, you know what, we're gonna take you rather than this guy who had like first time loan application, or like first time home buyer loan type. So that's another type. And yeah, you know, and because of that, the seller felt comfortable with more conventional loan for me, I guess. I don't know. So they took my offer, and the rest is history, basically. So not that I encourage you to do all that. It's really up to you and to your situation. Honestly, would it be me, I would went with maybe first-time home buyer, in like specifically in Maryland. There's that option, and I might have gone that way, but due to my lack, I guess, awareness within the situation, so that's why I went to like conventional, and there, lo and behold, I got it. So in any case, so there are like multiple options. We're not gonna discuss all of them, but there are a few just traditional ones that are used in Maryland here in the United States, and yeah, they are basically like either conventional or first-time home buyer, and that's more like residential. If you just, you know what, I go in and do, you know, first-time home buyer. But for investment property, it more or less no. Well, depends how you consider your very first property. If it's like you purchasing it, which I encourage a lot of people to do, is to with the investor mindset, and that's where you come in later on, and then you can partake the beauties of that decision. Nonetheless, that's pretty much in the financial world. So in the financing world is the types of like really conventional, like regular, or a first-time home buyer, or VA loan as well, if you are if you just like starting, basically. Common terms, I wanted to go with it, but there's quite a few actually. But in terms of like discussing all of them, yeah, we can go like through real quick. Buyer agent listings, like listings and stuff, is just a listing on the property, or just buyer agent, seller agent, you know, that's basically representation, who is who. Closing cost is that you pay for a basically administration fee. So if you don't know anything like that, like you can also if you don't know one of the terms, you can also ask your real estate agent who you're working with. They definitely gonna explain it to you, because yeah, there are some few terms that like really can really give you a good understanding of what's happening. Another one would be really inspection clauses or contingencies, I'm sorry. So inspection contingency, loan contingency, like, you know, things like that. And they are really also important, because based on those, if that contingency doesn't go through, you can, like, you know, you can come out of the deal, basically. So and it's really nice. Like, I mean, it's kind of protection, and that's what it is for, right? So for example, you put an offer letter, and then let's say you did the inspection, and for some miraculous reasons you found out, hey, you know what, there's like a cracked basement, so like your foundation is completely ruined because of that, and you didn't notice it before. Here you go, you just dodged the bullet, and you can basically close, like, you know, cancel the deal due to that. And if you're not going with it, and you know, you might save somewhat. Today's what, 2023. I don't know like, I'm not 100% on prices for fix-up foundation, but it can go in tens and 20s, and maybe, I don't know, maybe even $30,000, you know, to fix up the foundation, depending obviously on the house. Forgot to real quick mention about location. And this is one of the real keys why real estate can be really up high or really up low, and because of that. The reason for it is, you know, if you're just starting with the real estate, just understanding it, think of it from the perspective, hey, if you're really in them, and I think it's like this is a good advice so to give you guys, if you starting in real estate investments or investing, try to think of it from the perspective of the tenant. I know it's a little bit hard, everybody's different and all that, but let's say you're like max out with some of the things. So let's say, you know what, obviously you determine the market, obviously you do, well, determine the market, but you determine like a segment of people who basically gonna be your regular market, and let's say you got a, like, you know, regular basically family, you know, 2 kids, things like that, and then, you know, maybe 1 kid, 1-2 kids. So right, and what would they need in a basic sense, like, you know, entertainment, you know, like your surroundings and things like that. So like maybe, you know, kids area, maybe just a close shopping mall, maybe like a metro nearby, maybe a quiet neighborhood, and maybe nice and you know, a lot of tree kind of green area. So, you know, as you like think about like good schools, that's one big one, obviously. So there you go, you know, as you think of those perspectives, you kind of drive through the area, drive through the neighborhood, and you understand that obviously there is a good kind of rule of thumb of 30 minutes around you because you know this area. But again, what if you live in a rural area? Like, you might need like extra 30 plus minutes to get to a place where you live, or to get your groceries and things like that. But, you know, thing to consider, right? So parking, garage, do they need a garage, things like that, you know. So yeah, you know, just try to think of it from the perspective of, you know, like kind of what is your market segment, what is your market is, who is your market, and things like that. So, and trying to jump from that perspective, you'll do okay, you'll be okay. And then you understand what needs and what needs to be done, and what area is going to be perfect for you. So highly encourage you to discover all those areas. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe down below. Dmitry is out. See you next time. Ciao.